Okay, some air poofs. Let's check this out. Okay, these two of these kind of go together. Well, I'll show them. All right. So the air poofs. This dust down here that kind of happens. That's really what we're getting at. Let's see, 607. It says air dust. Yeah, so this is like, it starts here, the dust starts to emerge, and you see how it emphasizes more once there's all that dust. What did I do to it? Just pitched it down an octave. There you go. It's one of those little tiny air hoses. I guess Bissell has in his garage. There you go. And pitch it down an octave. Bigger air hose. Alright, so that wasn't enough, so I added another one. And I didn't do anything, except the rate. I changed the rate on this one. Yeah. So I wanted more emphasis on that. Yeah, when things come out. And this part of the sample... Where'd you go? This part of the sample had some really cool low-end stuff. And it looks like I slowed it down and I turned it down just a bit. Yeah. There you go. So that's them together. That makes a nice sound. I like it. Weight spin makes another appearance. What is it doing? Oh, right. The arms. This one's a little bit weird. 617, arms emerging. If I come here, I'll put that at 616, whatever. But you can see right there is where really the arms, so no arms, arms appear, and right here is where the arms start to move. So yeah, 617, that's where it really needs to happen. I changed the rate. It looks like I slowed it down just a little bit, and I pitched it. Did some weird pitching stuff to it. Let's take a look at it. I think I had trouble with this one because it's kind of hard to get it. Ooh, yeah. So it was like starting with something metal and then get it to where it kind of lines up with the action. And then find a way to pitch it to where it kind of sounds what the picture looks like. So I brought it down an octave, some semitones without this format shift. Oops. There you go. And then just bring it down to make it bigger. Okay. Arms emerging. Almost done. Look, I'm basically going through the entire project for you guys. And it's taking me no time. Laser. Aha. What did I use this one for? What are you doing? I didn't do anything to it, and that's about it. Aha! This is the gun emerging. Where is that at? 9-7. Yeah, gun out. Bam. So he's got some kind of magnetic thing or whatever. Or you know what? I've even had some projects where there's a thunk sound, like it's being projected out. So however you see fit that it should be. Either he has some kind of force that pulls the gun out, or there's some kind of mechanism that launches the gun up to his hand. But this laser reverse, I think it's already reverse as is. There you go. And it climaxes right where he catches it by itself. Boom. There you go. What is the next one? Wow, missed it. Ah, okay. Whatever. Way out here. What am I doing? This is the easiest one of all. Laser 410. So obviously the sample starts a little before that, and right where the laser hits, right where it just goes completely white out. 1410. Done. Let's see, what did I do to that sound? I mean, it's a laser, and so it's a stock laser sound, so it already sounds pretty good, but I think I wanted some more weight out of it since there's not much else going on. There you go. Saber on. Looks like I turned it down. And I pitched it. Yeah, this guy. So when the logo appears, here's where I'm using 2 instances of the RePitch. If you want to add like 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or as many as you want, it's add shifter down here, and to remove them you can delete the shifter. So not only is it like a pitch shifter plugin, but you can also make multiple instances. It's pretty awesome. What's happening in here? Let's take it off. Yeah, it's pretty rad, but it's like the stock laser sound for it. Let's put on this first instance. What did I do? And I am still blending in the original. So I added an octave and made it, what would that be, a 9th? Yeah, and I shifted it down a little bit. I can actually solo this one independently. So I'm adding that layer. I'm adding this layer. It's like an octave up and another semitone, and then shifted the format down. You put that minor second together, and you get some funness. Now you have that beating, so I thought it was kind of cool. Brought in a little bit of this impending doom. I don't know what I'm doing. Cool. What's this? Unlabeled. How could this be? So remember that instrument we made of drills? Yeah, so this is pretty much, for me, this is kind of like the hard stuff because there's not like exact spots for it. But this is pretty much the creature in sounds motion, motion reaching back, motion gun, or no, it's not that one. Apologize. No, yeah, it is that. It's these motions for the, no, I'm wrong. Lift up, here we go. So second lift up, pretty much when like the motion's in between the big hits. So if we look at him rising up, there is car rising, creature coming to life, so that's at 601. Bam, 601, that's what this is taking care of. The next one was 710, which is second lift up. So it's all the mechanical motions of the transformer. 827. Oh, okay, this is part of creature in motion sounds. So it's like his feet moving. So the creature in motion sounds is tied to these feet right here, the step 1, step 2. Yeah, so when I laid out these steps, I knew that, okay, I'm gonna have to come back later and create these more complex kind of motion sounds. Adding a sample to make a step is pretty easy. So basically what I did was I played the instrument. Take off all this effects processing. So if you look at the MIDI that I've put in here, I basically just played kind of cluster chords. There's some low stuff, some mid stuff, high stuff, and each movement is kind of getting higher and higher and more denser. So just as, and this is pretty much the drill that I made, the drill instrument that I made in the previous video. I'll solo it for y'all. And that's it. So I laid that out and I thought that was a good foundation. This ring modulator. So I can't fully explain to you what a ring modulator really does, but it does some cool stuff. And I know some extra Reaper tricks to make it do even cooler stuff, but So it's this mechanical thing that we need to kind of alienify or something like that. We need to make it some kind of alien organic creature. So ring modulator, just mess with it, do some settings, and see if you can make it do something. I added a tremolo. Y'all know how a tremolo works. There you go. And then I felt I needed to limit that a little bit, so I used the Event Horizon Limiter Clipper. This is actually a really great limiter clipper plugin if you're in the need of any. I sat on this for a long time, not realizing how well it actually sounded. So it's really just containing stuff, and I think I use it to gain it up a little bit. Yeah, that's what it did. Yeah, it made it louder. Yeah, so that's what I use it for. I needed to make something louder, but I didn't want to clip anything. So that was cool, but I felt it needed some more. And basically what I did was I grabbed the MIDI from above and just copied it down. That's exactly what I did. I made a new instrument out of it. I made a new instrument and then I just used the same samples. Sorry, not the same samples, but the same MIDI. So if I pull up this instrument, it's the startup and rev sample. So by itself, I pop that in there, use the tools that I showed y'all in that sampler video. There you go. And like I said, this is pretty much the MIDI copied and pasted down to the bottom. Added the ring modulator, doing its funkiness. Oh, one thing I totally forgot to mention is that every Reaper plugin pretty much has this mix knob, which is kind of absurd, but really cool. And so if you're gonna compress, EQ, affect anything, you can always have a dry-wet blend with it. So with this all the way ring modulated, so that's probably what you're going to be hearing if you're using the ring modulator. So that was too much, and I brought it down. And that was usable. And we're sound designing. We're trying to make this thing terrifying and gnarly. I know I'm clipping the plugin. I don't care. It's whatever. If it doesn't hurt the sound, then I don't mind. Let's see. Tremolo. There you go. And my computer is starting to crap out because we're getting to the end. This is pretty awesome. Alrighty, what is this? What is all this? Okay, this is some more detailed stuff. Going back to motion, reaching back, motion, gun, and shield. So this is more in between sounds. Once we add it in. So if you pay attention to his arms, look at his arms in between the big hits of gun, shield, and locking body into place. There you go. So in between the there's a those little things. And what I essentially did, washer reverse, as I pretty much put it on there, did some extensive fading to make sure it fit really well. Actually, because the washer doesn't sound like this. You can see that I really slowed it down. So remember when I mentioned about as soon as you start to time stretch things at a certain point, it really begins to break down and crap out. So knowing that, I went for it, and so I just completely stretched out the washer reverse sample and started to get that kind of digital sound, which is cool. I thought that was pretty rad. So let's add in our plugins. Bypass open. So I have the original dry sound coming in with the transpose sound down a fifth, well, 5 semitones, and then this format guy shifted. Yeah, and then I EQ'd a little bit. I wanted some more weight in that movement and take out some mid-range. Yeah, I just needed to move some low air. Okay, this is a pretty easy one, and this is actually isn't even listed, but it's a car, and it looks like it starts up. So I just got the car sample, car street, short. We'll bypass this. And that's kind of it for that. I did some EQ. It was a little too bright for my flavor. Yeah, because I have all the other stuff that gets in your face that I really want to focus on in that frequency range. So I don't need any of that kind of air with this sample. Right, so I figured since, excuse me, he turns into a pretty big boy, he's gonna need a pretty big engine. So I added this guy. Let's see what I turned it down. I faded it in. So this noise and this noise kind of coincide. So now that engine takes over. And that, I mean, doesn't sound very terrifying at all. We'll solo it. So I need to pitch that down. Let's see. No, I pitched part of it up, shifted it, and then an octave down. So let's solo the octave down one. Big boy. This is some higher stuff that I shifted. All together, bigger engine. And this EQ, took out some high frequencies and turned it down to put it in its place. And it's something you don't really notice. It's something you don't really notice until there's like some dead space. Like right there, if we kill that ambience. There's like some dead air. But with it, there's something kind of always going on. Yeah, so that's all the samples I put in there. And boom, here we go. Once I had that all together, I felt that I need some more weightiness to it. So I cut out some mid-range and beefed it up. Excuse me, my computer's starting to crap out now. And I want to just put a cap on it. And looks like I just needed to turn it up a little bit. So -5 and things got louder. Absolutely. Love it. Yeah, final thing that happened is pretty much my limiter at the very end. Yeah, I mean, don't do what I do. I pretty much mix as is and get a mix going, and then I'm clipping everything. And afterwards, I just find a way to limit everything. But yeah, if you need a limiter, like I said, the Event Horizon Limiter Clipper is a really, really great plugin, and everybody has it in their Reaper. And yeah, once that was set up and I felt really good about it, I added my music. Now, you may be noticing my meters are really, really getting hit kind of hard. And one thing mixing for film or something like this is that if you ever notice, if you have the ability to loop back signal into Reaper, if you're watching a movie, if you can get your computer audio to loop back into Reaper so you can see the meters. Watch a movie. Look up a movie that has a really, really great sound mixing or really great sound design. Oh man, there's a war movie that has really great sound design that came out a couple years ago. I forgot what it was. Forgive me, I can't. Hacksaw Ridge. I think it was called Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, you'll notice that ambient and background noises may flirt between 24, 18, and 12. Then you'll have dialogue that kind of floats between 12 and 0. And then big explosion stuff you'll see definitely go into the red and really kind of peak out there. And the whole thing is that dialogue should sound like it's kind of in front of you and at a comfortable volume. Ambience should be not loud enough to where they're really noticeable, but they should just kind of sit there in the background. Then obviously big explosions should just kind of like fill up some sonic space. So that is it. Let me see if my computer can handle playing it through once more. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.